Hello and welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I am your host, BitBoy. Tonight we are going to be talking about the Bitcoin Cash drama. We're going to be talking about mining a little bit, and we're also going to be talking about an SEC investigation. Before we do that, make sure you are a subscriber to our channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications, and also drop a like. If you do and you are a subscriber, you drop a comment and a like on this video, you will have the opportunity to win $500 worth of Ethereum and merch for October and November. You get the full contest rules below. So, okay, guys, a quick look at the markets. We're sitting about the same place we were yesterday. Market cap's at 186 billion. We're still feeling the losses. Bitcoin dominance has dropped just a little bit. I think that's probably due to the fact that a lot of people see a lot of altcoins that are down very far as a good opportunity to possibly make some quick gains if we do go back up very soon, which I'm not sure that we are. I'm really about 50-50 on it right now, how I'm feeling. I don't know if we go down and touch the fours, would that really be the worst thing? To touch the fours, and maybe that would get a true bottom. It's just hard to say at this point. We had that really prolonged run of stability, and now, I don't know, will we see the same kind of stability between like 55 and 57? Just don't really know yet. So looking at the top 10, we do have some. Stellar is up about 7.5%, which is good. XRP up about 4%, and everything else just kind of down a little bit, up just a little bit. Mix of winners and losers for the day. We've been seeing that a lot lately instead of all. Of course, yesterday was all red, but outside of that, we've been seeing a good mix of winners and losers over the last couple of weeks. So let's get into the news. The main thing we're going to talk about today is the Bitcoin Cash saga. We'll get to that in the end of the video. But I want to talk about this, even though on this Wall Street Journal article, I can't actually see the whole article. The gist of it is that the SEC is investigating Eric Voorhees, the CEO of Shapeshift, and his role in the fundraising for the SALT lending platform. And the main thing I really want to focus in on this story is that the SEC is really starting to investigate a lot of things right now when it comes to cryptocurrency. We just had the Ether Delta stuff that came out a couple of weeks ago, and now they're looking into SALT and the way that the money was raised and whether or not Eric Voorhees should have been able to help them raise their money. And the thing is I think with the word lending platform, that's going to get looked at a lot heavier than other things due to BitConnect. We just did a review, and I say we, it's just me and all the voices in my head here on the channel. I did a review on Celsius a couple weeks ago, which is also a lending platform. So I think that lending platforms, like I said, are going to be more scrutinized than other types of crypto projects because of BitConnect and all of the people that, lost money in that. The SEC's position is they want to protect the American people from getting scammed. So I think going forward that this is something that we are going to see more of. So now we have Kevin Rook on Twitter. I have no idea who he is. I don't know if he has a big Twitter account or not. No clue. But he had this post today that I thought was pretty interesting that was going around Reddit. It said, Bitcoin mining difficulty is dropping as some miners are starting to lose money for the first time. Mining difficulty dropped since 2017. We've only had it 3 times. We've had August 2017, November 2017, July 2018, and now. It's down 3.7% from the all-time high and expected to fall 8.8% below all-time high. I saw some people on this thread questioning him on that number, but right now it is down 3.7%. Now, why is that? Well, are miners starting to give up because they are below the profitability line? A lot of people have said the profitability line for mining is $6,000. That is true, and it's not true. So it is true in terms of, like, that's kind of the average number, right? But in different countries, the amount of power or the cost for the power you're using varies. So for different countries, it can vary wildly. I believe, maybe I'm wrong, I'm not a miner, but I think in the United States it's closer to 4,500 or 4,000. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But in some other countries, it's higher, it's lower. So now that we've dipped down below 6,000, and that's kind of the average mean number that a lot of people believe, will we start seeing miners stopping? And if they're stopping, will that lower the difficulty and therefore give other miners incentive to start mining. I'm just not really sure, but it is very interesting as the 6,000 mark is a mark that, you know, there's been this mining theory. The miners were propping the number up for a long time. So now we're really going to put that to test, as for the first time all year, we've now been below $6,000 for more than 24 hours. So as of tomorrow, we will be closer to 48 hours. So I don't know. This may be prolonged. This may affect mining. So, okay, guys, let's get into the Bitcoin Cash stuff, as this has really been dominating the headlines over the last couple of days. I'm going to go back to this article that was on November 8th. And this was basically where Roger Ver said that he may have been fooled by Craig Wright. Now, if you don't know, Craig Wright, aka Faketoshi, has been called, or has been self-proclaimed as Satoshi Nakamoto. We all know that he's not. I don't know any person who actually thinks that this man is Satoshi Nakamoto. There have been so many calls for him to provide proof, and he's never actually done it. So Roger Ver also has not said that Craig Wright was Satoshi, but in the past he has said that whether or not he's Satoshi, his vision for cryptocurrency aligns with what Satoshi would have wanted, which I think is BS, but regardless. You know, the interesting thing to me in all of this is, you can tell by the title right here, maybe I've been fooled by Craig Wright. In this world of cryptocurrency villains, Craig Wright somehow has managed to make Roger Ver look sympathetic. That's crazy to me. A lot of people are now comparing Craig Wright to the Lex Luthor of cryptocurrency. I got that from my friend Crypto Sanity. He seems hell-bent and almost willing to destroy cryptocurrency completely just to be right. His name's Craig Wright, right? But the guy's never right, maybe twice a day like a dead clock. But back in earlier this month, basically Roger Ver and Craig Wright got into it because Roger Ver was backing, let me rewind a little bit. So Bitcoin Cash forked today, okay? And the choices on the forks were Bitcoin Cash ABC, which is what Roger Ver and Jihan Wu of Bitmain are backing. And this will keep the ticker symbol BCH, okay? Then you also have Bitcoin SV, which SV stands for Satoshi's Vision. You can't make this stuff up. And so the difference is that Bitcoin Cash ABC is going to go through its regularly scheduled update. So every 6 months, Bitcoin Cash is supposed to get an update. Well, the last time this happened, this didn't create any kind of friction or any kind of drama, but the fork is coming from where Bitcoin SV, Satoshi's Vision, backed by Craig Wright, they do not want to take part in the upgrade. They want to keep Bitcoin Cash as it is, but they do want to make one change and be able to mine larger blocks. But in general, the SV is actually what Bitcoin Cash currently is. And the Bitcoin Cash ABC is getting the upgrade. And so at that point, when this was basically when the sides were drawn, if you will, Roger Ver and Craig Wright just started getting into it with one another. Craig Wright throwing all kinds of shade over at Roger Ver. Basically, in this tweet, he implied that Roger Ver was in favor of kiddie porn and a Silk Road 2.0. And, you know, basically, Roger Ver would then later say that, you know, he's seen some things from Craig Wright recently that have really made him question what Craig Wright's motives really are. So then today we actually had the fork. But yesterday, about the time that the price of Bitcoin dropped, this would have been, the price dropped, I believe, around 7:30 a.m., somewhere around there. And at 11:59 a.m., so several hours later, I'm not sure what time zone, I think in the Eastern time zone, Craig Wright released this tweet and said to all Bitcoin miners, if you switch to my BCH, we may need to fund this with Bitcoin. If we do, we sell that for US dollars. And well, we think Bitcoin market has no room. It tanks. Think about it. We will sell a lot. Consider that. Have a nice day. Bitcoin to $1,000 does not faze me. He is willing to basically have miners come over. And what he's saying here is it's going to take Bitcoin to fund getting the hash power to be able to battle between Bitcoin Cash ABC and Bitcoin SV, which is Satoshi's vision. They're going to have to take their Bitcoin, sell it for US dollars, flood the market to get the money to run the hash power to have this battle. And basically what Craig Wright is saying here is he doesn't care what happens. He will have the battle. He will go head to head. And at the end of the day, there's only a couple options. And I wanted to read this to you guys because I thought this really is a good summary to what the end game of all this is. It says, by the end of it, we'll either have 2 coins, 1 surviving coin, or no coins. Should the whole thing become a farce and kill confidence in Bitcoin Cash altogether? The most worrying potential outcome is a long civil war or a long Cold War, with the whole crypto ecosystem being damaged by an unseemly battle for control of what should have been a decentralized network. Should White, Ver, and Wu really, that's supposed to be Wright, sorry, it's a typo, they had this typo in this article a couple times. Should Wright, Ver, and Wu really have the collective Bitcoin bags to crash the price to fund their feud? Well, that's a worst case scenario. There's a lot of typos in here. It would take a long time to come back from. And unfortunately, crypto's supposed to be decentralized. We're supposed to be sharing the power. And now, just like almost anything, you have people who got in the game early and are now extremely wealthy. And this has become a battle of power and control, which I don't really understand, even though we've seen it all throughout history. Napoleon, Hitler, Craig Wright, we've seen all this. We've seen men not happy with being wealthy. They're not happy being able to buy anything that they want. The only thing that seems to quench this unquenchable desire, if you will, is power. They want the power, and this is what this is all about. They want the power to be able to control the direction of Bitcoin Cash, which of course they all still claim is the real Bitcoin. And you know, in the end of the day, the people that are getting hurt by this are you and me. The people that are funding this whole thing, that are pushing this movement forward, we're the ones who are getting crapped on by all 3 of these guys. But somehow, like I said earlier, Jihan Wu and Roger Ver are actually made out to be sympathetic here. It reminds me of when I'm watching 2 teams, like I'm watching a football game right now. It's halftime, but the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. I hate both those teams, but I hate the Packers more. So even though I hate both of these teams, I've picked a side, and I'm hoping that the Seahawks can beat the Packers, mainly because it affects the Falcons' playoff chances. But regardless of all that, you know, this is similar to what's going on here. I really hate all the characters involved here. However, in this, clearly, I believe that Roger Ver and Jihan Wu are on the right side of this, and Craig Wright is the Lex Luthor, the #1 supervillain of cryptocurrency, and I hope he gets everything terrible that could possibly come to him. So that's all that I got tonight. We will talk maybe later on in the week about the actual fork and what happened today with the fork and the battling back and forth of SV and ABC when it comes to the hash power and the hash rates. I'm going to let that play out for at least 24 hours before I really make any comments on that. So, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, BitBoy out.